Going on, guys? Thanks for tuning into another video. I was gonna be really quick today because I don't have too much time to record this, but I want to talk about a little bit of a paradox that I've experienced. Last year, well, really a couple of years ago, I went through a period of time when I had quit my job. I just quit my car sales job that had worked at for like 3.5 years at, and I quit this job before even having a second job or any kind of backup plan planned out. I didn't know where I was going to work after. I just knew that I didn't want to work there anymore. And I was confident in myself and the fact that I was going to find somewhere better. It took a long time before I found a job that I was happy with, because after quitting, it's a few things. First of all, it becomes really apparent to you after a couple of weeks how bored you are at home when you have nothing, when you have no like responsibilities, if they're not self-inflicted. Like most people, their job, usually their life revolves around their job. Like they plan things to do right before, they plan to do things right after. But when I quit this job, I didn't think about any of that. I just knew that I had to move, and if I didn't quit before having something lined up, I probably never would. And so I had to make it uncomfortable for myself. Sometimes that has to happen. So I recognize that now after the fact. But the paradox I want to talk about is the fact that for a whole month, I didn't work for 30 days. There were definitely applications I was sending out. There were jobs that looked good and different things, and I had interviews, but the jobs I wasn't taking is because just weren't a good fit. And the other jobs I just wasn't getting offered. So I finally found the job I'm at now, but what I want to talk to you guys about today is the fact that I'm currently looking for a second job. I'm looking for a second job for a couple of reasons. The main one being that I need supplemental income, or I'm looking for and desire to have extra income. And so I've noticed that as I've sought to make myself more busy, you would think that with less time, or like when you have more on your plate, you do less, or you have less time to do those things, or that your quality of life would significantly deteriorate. But there's nothing worse than being at a job or occupying yourself with something that has no return, spending your time spinning your wheels at a place that, although you're there, isn't producing anything. You're not producing anything. When I didn't have a job for 30 days, my self-confidence took a major hit. Like I felt it. I was like, wow, I didn't expect this. Because here I was, after a degree in college, after spending 4 years and $14,000 later, after all of the experience that I thought I had that would have granted me a great opportunity, here I was 30 days later without a job, with money running out, with me needing to sell my stocks that I had. I had a brokerage account. I had to liquidate all of my assets on there just to be able to pay for rent and all of my other bills, because as of the time of this video, and even back then, I made great progress, but I owed so much money to these credit cards that I've racked up. That's actually what this second job is going to help me do, is pay that off in a timely fashion. I now have a goal as far as like when I want it paid off, and I have a set amount of money that if I make these payments every month, I'll have paid off my debt by December. And so all of that, like having that plan in place, knowing that all of my time is important, knowing that there's always something to occupy my time with. For example, this video, like recording videos, I'm not getting paid for them or anything like that. And if you looked at my views, you would know that. But it helps me mentally to know that I'm contributing to my future. It helps me mentally. It helps my self-confidence to know that I'm putting one more coin in the bucket of this self-improvement journey. Whether it's a lot more than just getting better at the videos. It helps me so much just in knowing that I'm communicating something, even if just to myself, to be able to watch back over. I love to be able to look back and see what it was that was occupying my mind at a certain date and time. To wrap it all up, the real message of this video is to get yourself busy, to find things to do, to know that you have a lot more in the tank than you think you do, so long as the things you're choosing are out of your own volition, that there are things that you want to do. And let's say you don't work, you don't have a job, let's say you're living at home and you're not even old enough to work yet. I would find things, I would find hobbies, find projects, find things that you're interested in, find books, find authors, find subjects to occupy yourself with that are going to enrich your experience, because in doing that, I think of it as like having burners in your body. Burners, kind of like an oven, right? Or like on a stovetop. You have these burners in your body, and when they're already warmed up, you can easily switch to new tasks without feeling burned out. And so, like during those 30 days when I didn't have a job, guys, I had no energy. No energy. Why? Because I wasn't occupying myself with something. I'd have some kind of goal. I'd have a purpose. So I had all this time, and I just freed up myself. I freed up my time, freed up my days. You would think that I'd have so much energy to do stuff, but I was wasting it on my phone, scrolling social media. I was wasting time is the point. When I had so much time, I shouldn't have been wasting so much of it. And now that I'm going to be putting more on my plate, I feel and know that that's going to give me more energy, actually. I'm going to want to add more to it, because these are things, like I said earlier, that I'm choosing. I'm not doing them because I have to. For example, the debt that I have, I could let it keep going. I could let it rack up. I could just pay the minimums. I could keep slacking off. I could keep putting it off. But that's pain that I know I'm going to have in the future if I don't address it now. So it's like the pain that you go through in the moment to absolve yourself of pain that you would have in the future is a lot more bearable. It's a lot more bearable. And so I'll just leave it at that. I hope that spoke to somebody. If you like the video, give it a like. I hope to see you guys in the next video. And if you like my other ones, go ahead and subscribe. Peace.